Wow. Welcome to the most isolated, rebellious, and breathtaking dot on Earth. From mutineer legends to giant turtles and pristine reefs, this is Pitcairn. Subscribe before this place convinces gravity to resign, and let's dive in. Rising from the Pacific like a villain's secret volcanic fortress, Pitcairn Island is a rugged emerald beast. Forget relaxing sandy beaches. This place is armored, with brutal basalt cliffs and swirling clouds. It is home to just around 40 hardcore residents, the living descendants of the infamous 1790 bounty mutineers. With zero natural harbors, just getting on or off this island is an extreme sport. Welcome to Bounty Bay, where the locals launch their aluminum longboats straight into the wrath of the ocean. Because massive supply ships like the Claymore II cannot even dream of docking here. These brave islanders have to surf through terrifying, bone-crushing waves just to grab their groceries. Haha, it is a crazy maritime battle. Imagine doing this every time you need an Amazon package or a fresh pair of socks. They literally risk their lives, navigating these violent swells and dodging jagged rocks, proving that the fearless Polynesian and British seafaring blood still pumps heavily in their veins. It is a beautifully chaotic dance between human sheer will and Mother Nature's relentless tantrums. Out there in the deep blue, they load up supplies, braving the rolling ocean. Once they secure the precious cargo from the freighter, they have to thread the needle back through the crashing surf, hauling the heavy longboat up the slippery concrete slipway. It is exhausting, highly dangerous, and absolutely mesmerizing to watch. This daily adrenaline-pumping grind makes you quickly realize that living in this isolated paradise requires a serious spine of steel and a whole lot of nautical insanity. We have to put the boat away, otherwise the sea will wash it away. When a luxury cruise ship actually manages to drop anchor, the island transforms. Tourists are greeted by a fleet of quad bikes, the ultimate local chariots. They hit the Pamai Center, grabbing rare wooden crafts, local honey, and those highly coveted Pitcairn postage stamps. Just a short walk away lies the solemn grave of John Adams, the last surviving mutineer, who miraculously turned a blood-soaked, chaotic hideout into a peaceful, devout community. But dark history is not the only thing wandering these paths. Oh wait, say hello to Miss T, the island's only Galapagos giant tortoise, and the ultimate VIP resident. Haha, she casually roams the lush grass, aggressively demanding her daily cucumber and watermelon snacks from anyone passing by. Who knew a notorious Mutiny island would eventually be ruled by such a demanding, shell-wearing overlord? Wow, once you survive the terrifying boat landing, congratulations. You now face the infamous hill of difficulty. While breathless tourists struggle on foot, savvy locals casually blast past them on trusty pink quad bikes. Cruising along these lush ridges reveals the absolute terrifying isolation of this place. Just look at this wooden signpost. London is almost 15,000 kilometers away. You are officially stranded at the edge of the world. Haha, forget about same-day delivery. Here, you are lucky to get mail quarterly. Peering over the sheer cliffs into the crystal-clear abyss, you might spot some massive, majestic visitors. Every year, humpback whales swim thousands of miles just to use Pitcairn's peaceful, unpolluted waters as their personal maternity ward. Watching a colossal mother whale and her tiny calf casually spouting water and cruising through the deep blue is an absolute privilege. This untouched marine sanctuary offers them a safe haven, far away from human chaos. It is a rare, breathtaking spectacle that makes the brutal journey to this remote volcanic rock totally worth the endless, agonizing bouts of seasickness. Flying along this dramatic coastline, the sheer hostility of Pitcairn's geography slaps you right in the face. There are no soft, inviting sandy shores here to sip cocktails on. Instead, the island is heavily fortified by a terrifying ring of jagged black basalt rocks and towering red cliffs. The vibrant green palm trees cling desperately to the steep slopes, constantly battered by the ocean winds. Below them, the relentless frothing white waves violently smash against the volcanic shoreline, day and night. It is a brutal environment that has been eroding for millions of years. Since the island erupted from a hotspot, this incredibly raw landscape is a powerful reminder that nature is the undisputed boss here, and humans are merely stubborn, uninvited guests trying to survive. But wait, even in this incredibly aggressive coastal fortress, nature occasionally shows a little mercy. Hidden away at the eastern edge of the island is the spectacular St. Paul's Pool. To get there, you have to carefully navigate a sketchy wooden staircase clinging to the side of a massive red volcanic cliff. It looks exactly like a secret villain lair, but the reward is pure magic. While the furious ocean continuously unleashes its relentless fury against the towering basalt pillars outside, the inner basin remains a perfectly calm, crystal clear emerald oasis. These ancient volcanic rock formations act as a sturdy natural breakwater, creating the ultimate exclusive tidal swimming pool. It is literally the only safe spot on the entire rugged island where locals and brave tourists can actually take a relaxing dip without the fear of being violently swept away into the Pacific abyss. Watching people casually float in this tranquil, sunlit water while massive, violent waves explode just a few feet away is a completely surreal experience. It perfectly captures the bizarre duality of life on Pitcairn. You are constantly surrounded by overwhelming danger and absolute isolation, yet you can still find these breathtaking pockets of serenity. It is a beautiful, terrifyingly isolated paradise that rewards only the most adventurous human souls. Wow, soaring above these incredibly steep, emerald-draped volcanic cliffs, plunging into the ocean, you grasp the terrifying scale of isolation along this incredibly rugged red coastline. Sweeping across this vibrant blue shoreline, the island looks like a tiny, lonely fortress. Viewing this solitary green rock from afar, floating in the vast, endless Pacific expanse, when the golden sunset bleeds into this completely empty, silent ocean horizon, you feel stranded. Locals are boarding their sturdy blue aluminum longboat as the boat crashes through waves. People on shore casually wave goodbye. Every departure highlights their reliance on the ocean. Welcome to Adamstown, the smallest capital on the entire planet. Houses sit hidden among dense, lush palm forests. Look at this charming two-story purple wooden house. Haha, people are actually waving from the balcony. Forget urban grids. Homes here cling desperately to steep, unpredictable slopes. Peering down this massive cliff reveals the terrifying drop. Notice these white-roofed buildings, completely surrounded by those massive water tanks. Since there is absolutely zero fresh surface water, catching rain is literally a highly critical matter of daily survival here. Gliding past the hauntingly quiet cliffside cemetery. It is a chilling resting place. Up above, muddy red trails connect the scattered hillside houses. See this long gray wooden home? It is brilliantly elevated to dodge terrible bugs and humidity. Taking in this wide view, you realize they do not just build homes. They carefully engineer survival bunkers, backed by that towering, protective volcanic peak. It is a stunning, rugged settlement. Oh wait, here is the iconic local church with its striking green roof. Haha, notice the dirt parking lot filled entirely with quad bikes? That is peak transport. From afar, this deeply religious community miraculously balances a very dark, incredibly rebellious past with modern high-speed Starlink internet, carefully maintaining their self-sustaining gardens right on the slopes. They thrive proudly and fiercely at the absolute edge of human civilization. Wow, soaring above these incredibly steep, emerald-draped volcanic cliffs, plunging into the ocean, you grasp the terrifying scale of isolation, revealing a vibrant green hillside, heavily scarred by barren red soil. This aggressive mix of dense jungle and dry red dirt perfectly highlights the island's harsh nature. Notice how vegetation desperately grips the towering vertical cliffs along this shoreline. See those resilient palm trees braving the coastal winds. The stunning golden sunlight casts dramatic, long shadows, across this incredibly brutal rocky coastline. Down here, relentless ocean waves violently smash against the jagged, pitch-black basalt rock formations. This treacherous rocky barrier makes unauthorized boat landings absolutely completely impossible here. Oh wait, beyond the dense palm canopy, a massive cruise ship waits safely offshore. Meanwhile, two beautiful white fairy terns peacefully groom themselves up high here. Watch this elegant bird effortlessly glide over the lush, vibrant jungle canopy. Brilliant golden sunlight beautifully pierces through these precarious cliffside tropical palm trees. From this extreme altitude, Pitcairn truly resembles a mythical fortress, piercing through thick clouds. Cruising past this striking red and green mountainside reveals the ocean's raw power below. Diving down, we uncover Down Rope, the island's only tiny hidden sandy beach area. These towering multi-layered sedimentary cliffs aggressively dominate the extremely narrow rocky shoreline right here. Standing on this cramped beach, you see scattered boulders and unfortunately washed up ocean debris. The relentless churning ocean waves continuously batter these jagged coastal rocks with absolutely terrifying, unstoppable force. Notice how stubborn vegetation miraculously grows straight out of these massive, ancient rock crevices. Plunging straight down again, this hidden downrope beach feels like a completely isolated secret world. Looking from the water, this majestic, towering cliff face perfectly hides ancient Polynesian petroglyphs, carved into the dark stone. From the ship's deck, a brilliant rainbow beautifully arcs over this island. Meanwhile, a dark seabird proudly perches on this concrete pier's wooden coast. Pulling away, Pitcairn shrinks back into a solitary, silent fortress, surrounded by endless ocean. Wow, welcome to Ducie Island, a breathtaking, completely uninhabited low coral atoll surrounding a lagoon. Outside this fragile ring, violent ocean swells constantly batter the outer reef. Watch these massive, terrifying turquoise waves aggressively crash and explode into foam. The relentless, powerful surf continuously washes over this shallow, protective coral barrier right here. A beautiful white fairy tern effortlessly glides, flying past. Above, a majestic brown seabird stretches its wings across the clear sky. Down below, dense, low-growing green shrubs aggressively blanket this completely barren sand. This pristine white beach beautifully borders the turquoise lagoon. Tracing this incredibly long, sweeping shoreline reveals a landscape entirely untouched by human hands. Looking straight down into the water exposes a vibrant, thriving coral kingdom. This isolated, colorful coral cluster blooms perfectly within the crystal-clear blue depths. Stunning purple and brown coral patches decorate the seafloor. The lush green vegetation fiercely guards these incredibly shallow, coral-filled coastal waters. Submerging underwater reveals an exceptionally healthy reef ecosystem, teeming with tiny fish. A massive school of silverfish swarms past us. Brilliant sun rays magically pierce through the water, beautifully illuminating the complex coral structures. Gliding over flat corals, delicate branching corals provide the ultimate playground for these energetic little swimmers. Suddenly, a massive, intimidating crimson predator confidently patrols right past our camera. This gigantic, standalone coral mound proudly dominates the surrounding sandy blue seabed. From above, you see how these intricate reef formations aggressively spread outwards. Two tiny sandbars stubbornly host isolated patches of greenery. Approaching closer, the stark contrast between barren sand and vibrant reefs amazes. The incredibly calm Emerald Lagoon is heavily speckled with countless coral heads. Pulling back gradually reveals the elegant, sweeping curve of this entire atoll. This sweeping aerial perspective showcases Ducie's beautifully unbroken protective ring of vibrant coral life. It remains a precious, untouched emerald lost at sea. Wow. Welcome to Henderson Island, a massive, flat, jungle-covered, uplifted coral plateau. Relentless waves aggressively carve deep, terrifying caves into these sheer, fossilized limestone cliffs. Dense, vibrant green vegetation desperately hugs the jagged edges. Islanders violently battle incoming surf just to reach the shallow sand. They wade through choppy water, quickly unloading heavy red barrels ashore. Thick palm trees and pandanus shrubs aggressively guard this narrow beach. Oh wait, this beautiful masked booby carefully nurses her fluffy white chick here. Two curious masked boobies casually relax under the refreshing green shade. Gentle ocean waves peacefully wash over, this completely deserted white shoreline. A diver aggressively hunts for lobsters, inside shallow crevices. A woman casually strolls the rocky beach. He wades deep into the treacherous, rocky, shallow waters. From above, two skilled islanders perfectly coordinate their intense underwater lobster hunting mission. These razor-sharp fossilized coral structures make navigating the coastline incredibly dangerous. He fearlessly shoves his entire torso into the flooded coral cave. Boom, success. He violently yanks a massive, aggressive spiny lobster from the dark rocks. Haha, another gigantic thrashing lobster is successfully pulled from the treacherous water. He proudly displays the monstrous catch, while his partner continues hunting down below. Wow, look at the sheer size of this terrifying spiny beast, wildly flailing its long antennae. The diver extracts yet another struggling lobster from hiding. Carrying the massive prize, he walks triumphantly across the pure white sandy beach. 3 huge lobsters crawl awkwardly here. He reaches deep into submerged rocks. Wearing protective dive boots is mandatory when stepping on these extremely sharp corals. He carefully stuffs the spiny lobsters into a net. Dozens of sluggish sea cucumbers lie scattered across the shallow sand. The relentless diver continues dragging more lobsters from the water, gathering an incredibly massive pile of fresh seafood next to the rocks. They toss the spiny beasts into a green bucket, completely overflowing with this luxurious catch. Ocean waves violently strike the submerged reef. Immersing fully into this surreal 360-degree underwater world, a lone diver gracefully explores the breathtaking sunlit coral architecture. Massive waves brutally assault the gigantic, uplifted limestone cliff faces here. Looking straight down reveals massive, shattered boulders, violently ripped from the towering walls. The relentless ocean has aggressively carved gigantic caves into this limestone. Foaming white waves continuously pound the endlessly stretching coastline. This entire Makatea Plateau stands incredibly flat, completely wrapped by terrifying vertical drops, plunging from the dense green jungle straight into the shallow reef. Tragically, this isolated paradise is completely choked with disgusting ocean plastic. Countless buoys and plastic bottles heavily pollute the supposedly pristine, untouched sandy beach. Comment below how we fix this mess, and subscribe to help. Menacing storm clouds quickly gather over the dense pandanus shrub vegetation. A flock of frigate birds circles beneath white clouds. This magnificent frigate bird stretches its massive wings, gracefully soaring right above. We glide past jagged limestone cliffs, while ocean waves thunder loudly. This masked booby flies incredibly close to the dark ocean surface. Looking down, the submerged coastal reef reveals its stunning underwater colors. Flying along this massive, imposing cliff face perfectly demonstrates the terrifying raw geographical scale and brutal isolation of Henderson Island's rugged coastline. Looking straight down merges the dense green forest with shallow reefs. Ultimately, this completely flat, uplifted plateau stands as a bizarre, lonely fortress, surviving endlessly within the vast, empty Pacific Ocean. Wow! Welcome to Oeno Island, a stunningly beautiful, pristine coral atoll sanctuary. This vibrant turquoise lagoon is completely surrounded by a massive protective coral ring. Lush green forests gently meet the sweeping sandy shoreline. A spotted seabird peacefully incubates her precious egg. Right down here! Look at these gorgeous red-tailed tropic birds, safely nesting inside the dense bushes. Eradicating rats made this incredible breeding paradise possible. They fearlessly protect their tiny chicks, completely undisturbed by any dangerous land predators. This solitary bird comfortably rests in her secure nest. Above us, a magnificent masked booby gracefully glides across the brilliant blue sky. An elegant frigate bird effortlessly rides the warm, comforting tropical ocean breeze. This beautiful brown booby freely patrols the vast horizon, claiming this isolated airspace as its kingdom. Diving underwater reveals a bustling, colorful metropolis teeming with incredibly vibrant reef fish. Dedicated marine scientists carefully deploy a baited remote underwater video system to study this pristine environment. The heavy camera slowly descends, immediately attracting curious, hungry local fish. Oh wait, huge eel! This brilliant device silently hovers, over massive, plate-like coral reef formations. A massive, curious fish aggressively investigates the strange metallic box, invading its territory. Suddenly, an apex predator appears. This majestic white-tip reef shark demands absolute respect. As we finally leave this pristine sanctuary, what undocumented ancient monsters are lurking in these unexplored deeper trenches? Subscribe now to see what surfaces next.